The night everything went wrong. No one ever expects their name to become a headline overnight. One day, you're a singer, a reality TV star, a Braxton. The next day, the internet is asking one terrifying question. What really happened to Tamar Braxton? When Tamar first spoke, her words were chilling, not because of what she said, but because of what she couldn't say. Are you aware of what really happened to you? No, I'm not. No memory. No clarity. Just blood, missing teeth, and surgery. According to Tamar, the last thing she remembered was something completely ordinary, something harmless. A friend's birthday party. Nothing violent. Nothing dangerous. Nothing that should have ended with her waking up injured, confused, and fighting for her life. And that's where the story should have ended. But instead, that's where it exploded. Because when Tamar went public with her injuries, she didn't just spark concern. She sparked suspicion. And at the center of that suspicion was one name the internet could not stop repeating. Funky Dineva. A birthday that turned into a nightmare. The night before Tamar's injuries became public, she had been celebrating, laughing, drinking, showing up as Tamar always does, loud, glamorous, magnetic. It was Funky Dineva's birthday. A night that should have ended with hangovers and Instagram stories. Instead, it ended with Tamar waking up in a pool of blood. And when the story broke, people immediately connected the dots. Same night, same location, same people. The internet did what it always does best. It filled in the blanks. Suddenly, Funky wasn't just a blogger. He wasn't just a friend. He was a suspect. And the accusations came fast. Woman hater. Fake friend. Something ain't right. But here's the part Tamar didn't seem to understand. When you hint at violence without naming names, everyone in the room becomes guilty. Funky Dineva speaks, and he's not afraid. Funky didn't hide. He didn't soften his tone. He didn't ask for sympathy. He did what Funky Dineva always does. He talked. Let me say this clearly. I don't know what happened to that lady. No apologies. No fake concern. Just facts. Funky insisted he had nothing to do with Tamar's injuries. He said he left her safe, alive, conscious, with people she trusted. But Tamar never corrected the narrative. She never told her followers, leave Funky alone. He didn't hurt me. And that silence felt intentional. Because Tamar was trending. And Tamar has never run from attention. The warning, Tamar Igenority. Privately, Funky begged her. Not to lie. Not to protect him. Just to tell the truth. All you had to do was say, I didn't do anything. That's it. One sentence. But Tamar said nothing. And Funky warned her, again and again. If you keep letting people think I hurt you, if you keep throwing shade, if you keep playing victim, I will tell everything. Tamar didn't listen. Instead, months later, long after the controversy had cooled, she reignited it herself. She went on the morning hustle. She reopened the wound. The interview that changed everything. When Tamar sat down for that interview, she didn't have to say much. Her words were careful, strategic, vague. I went to a friend's birthday party. I came home like I normally do. She never said Funky's name, but she didn't have to. Everyone knew who she meant. She framed herself as generous, as loyal, as betrayed. And once again, Funky was left holding the blame. But that wasn't the most shocking part. Because when the conversation turned to Mendeecees, Yandy Smith's husband, Tamar flat out denied knowing him. I barely even know him. He's not my homie. And that's when Funky snapped. Because according to Funky, that was a lie. This was no longer about a mystery injury. This was about secrets, denials, and people who didn't expect the truth to come out. And in part 2, Funky stops warning and starts dropping receipts, the RECEIPTS that shocked everyone. When Tamar denied knowing Mendeecees, Funky Dineva raised an eyebrow, and the internet collectively gasped. Because Funky doesn't just talk. He documents. He remembers. He collects receipts. I came home, and she was sitting on his lap in the Uber, kissing him. Boom, just like that, the narrative flips. What Tamar claimed as barely even knowing him suddenly looks impossible. Funky didn't sugarcoat his feelings. I got in the car, saw it with my own eyes, and I didn't go upstairs because I wasn't about to intrude on something that wasn't mine to witness. Pause for a second. Let that sink in. Tamar's supposed friend saw everything, the closeness, the intimacy, the kiss, and chose not to step in. Why? Because according to Funky, it wasn't his place. Meanwhile, Tamar's version of events. Vague, distant, and carefully curated for the cameras. We ain't even going to touch on it, she said. I came home like I normally do. It sounded innocent, polite, casual, but Funky's recollection painted a different picture, a picture full of jealousy, secrecy, and questionable loyalties. The house where things went south. Once the Uber ride ended, Funky left. He didn't follow Tamar upstairs. Why? Because he says she was already with Mendeecees and a third man, the very person Tamar claims found her unconscious. If anyone knows what happened to her teeth, Funky says, it's those two. They went upstairs with her. And suddenly, the story becomes far darker. Speculation runs wild. Were Mendeecees and this mystery third man involved in something that went terribly wrong? Did Tamar really fall and hit her head? Or is this a case of mystery injuries caused by people she trusted? Funky doesn't outright accuse, but the implications are clear. If you need to investigate what happened, start with the people who went upstairs with her. The internet went insane. Theories multiplied. Some claimed Tamar was reckless, and the accident was self-inflicted. Some whispered about a ménage gone wrong. Some insisted that Funky's perspective was the truth, because he had no reason to lie. The morning hustle, interview, and the reignition of drama. Months after the incident, Tamar appeared on the morning hustle, seemingly reopening old wounds. Again, she avoided nomming Funky, but carefully framed him as ungrateful, unkind, almost villainous. You thought it was your friend. Well, we ain't even going to touch on that. In her narrative, Funky becomes the bump in the road of her media attention, a foil she can use to dramatize her story and maintain public interest. But Funky wasn't about to let that slide. I told you once, I'll tell you again. It's going to take more than a lawyer's letter to scare me. And that's where the tension escalates. Funky isn't intimidated. He's ready for confrontation. He's ready to call Tamar's bluff. TAMARVs, MENDEES, the unspoken affair. Even as Tamar tried to downplay her relationship with Mendeecees, Funky provided a detailed account. Sitting on Mendeecees' lap in an Uber. Kissing in public. Going upstairs together, out of Funky's sight. All of it directly contradicted Tamar's claims of barely even knowing him. And the mystery third man, still unaccounted for. Funky hints that this person, along with Mendeecees, is the key to understanding what really happened. They were the ones who went upstairs with you. If anyone knows what happened to your teeth, it's them. It's clear Funky is planting the seeds for accountability. He's telling the story from his eyes, and he's prepared to take it all the way to court if Tamar continues to manipulate the narrative. The internet is divided. Fans and viewers are split. Some defend Tamar, citing trauma and her need to tell her story. Others side with Funky, arguing that Tamar is strategically omitting details and using vague hints to protect herself while casting blame. But one thing is undeniable. Funky's attention to detail, his refusal to back down, and his meticulous record-keeping have made him a force to be reckoned with. And Tamar, she may have underestimated him. If you think a little statement on your lawyer's letterhead is going to scare me, think again, Funky warns. The takeaway is simple. Secrets have a way of coming out. Even the most carefully curated stories can be dismantled by someone with receipts, courage, and no fear of confrontation. And Funky Dineva has all three: the Night of Chaos, UBER House, and the Third Man. Sometimes, the smallest decisions have the biggest consequences. One Uber ride, one house, one night, and suddenly lives are changed forever. This is the night Funky Dineva says he will never forget. I did not get out the car and go upstairs, Funky recalls. After Tamar and Mendeecees got through kissing in the back of that Uber, I figured they wanted privacy. That's why I went home. Let that sink in. The Uber wasn't just a ride. It was a stage for a series of events that would spiral out of control. Because according to Funky, Tamar was no longer just celebrating a friend's birthday. She was entangled in a situation far more complicated and dangerous than the internet could imagine. The UBRFFCT. Inside that car, Funky observed. Mendeecees and Tamar were intimately close. Tamar appeared comfortable, even playful with Mendeecees. Their behavior wasn't subtle. It was bold, public, and unmissable. She was sitting on his lap, kissing him, and I got uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. That's why I didn't go upstairs. And Funky isn't exaggerating. He's not here for the clickbait. He's here to set the record straight. Because what happened next was even more complicated. The house where SCRTS, UNFOLDD. Once the Uber pulled up at Tamar's house, Funky left. He didn't go upstairs. Why? I wasn't about to intrude on something I wasn't supposed to see. She was already with Mendeecees and a third guy. That third guy, unidentified, is the person Tamar claims found her unconscious. Funky's account raises questions no one dared ask out loud. Did Mendeecees and the third man leave Tamar in a state that caused her injuries? Were Tamar's missing teeth an accident, or something far more sinister? Was the birthday party a cover for a situation that went horribly wrong? The internet went wild. Speculation ran rampant. Some said it was a freak accident. Some whispered about a freaky situation gone wrong. Some believed Funky's account, pointing to the third man as the key to unlocking the truth. The third man, the mystery figure. Who is he? Why was he there? Funky never names him. He doesn't need to. His role is clear. He was present during the critical moments. He went upstairs with Tamar and Mendeecees. He may hold the answers to what truly happened to Tamar that night. If anyone needs to be investigated for what happened to her teeth, it's Mendeecees and his friend. They were the ones who went upstairs. The internet exploded with theories. Who is this third man? What was his role? Was this a protective friend, or a participant in something that went wrong? The aftermath, silence and strategy. After that night, Tamar remained silent publicly. But privately, Funky warned her repeatedly. All you had to do was say I didn't hurt you. One sentence, that's it. She didn't. And Funky wasn't going to let it go. Months later, Tamar went on the morning hustle, reigniting the story. She hinted at betrayal, danger, and injury. She never mentioned Funky by name. She painted herself as the victim of a reckless friend, or perhaps reckless friends. And Funky responded, not with anger, but with meticulous clarity. You know, I knew this was how you'd play it. I knew you'd call me the bad guy, but the receipts don't lie. The web of lies and DNALS. Tamar's version of events was carefully crafted. Mendeecees, barely known. Funky, untrustworthy, maybe even a threat. Third man, invisible, irrelevant, or protective. It doesn't matter which. But Funky's story directly contradicted hers. Mendeecees and Tamar were physically close in the Uber. They went upstairs together. The third man was present, potentially involved in what went wrong. And Funky insisted. If anyone knows what really happened, it's them, not me. This statement would define the narrative going forward. Because in the court of public opinion, receipts matter. And Funky had receipts. The beginning of a battle. From this night onward, the story became more than an accident. It wasn't just about Tamar's injuries. It was about truth, loyalty, and accountability. Funky positioned himself as the guardian of the facts, the one who would not allow rumors and half-truths to dominate. If a little statement on a lawyer's letterhead is supposed to scare me, it won't. I'm 14 years in. I've been through lawsuits with the best. You're not going to intimidate me. This night, the Uber ride the house, the third man was the flashpoint. And now, the world would watch as the battle between Tamar and Funky escalated. By the end of part 3, the tension is crystal clear. Tamar's injuries remain mysterious. Mendeecees' involvement is undeniable. The third man is a key figure no one can identify. Funky holds the receipts, ready to defend himself and reveal the truth. The aftermath, social media explodes, and legal threats. The morning after Tamar's appearance on the Morning Hustle, the internet went into a frenzy. Tweets, threads, Instagram stories, TikTok videos. Everyone had an opinion, and everyone had a side. Some defended Tamar, some defended Funky, some just wanted receipts and clarity. But amidst all the chaos, one thing became painfully obvious. Tamar's narrative was unraveling. TAMARTRIES, to control the narrative. On air, Tamar carefully chose her words. I can talk about it, but I'm not aware of what really happened to me. All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I came home like I normally do. The casual tone might have seemed innocent to some, but Funky and anyone paying attention knew better. He had witnessed the Uber ride. He had seen Tamar with Mendeecees and the third man. He had details she omitted intentionally. Funky wasn't going to let her spin the story unchecked. Baby, you don't want to waste your time sending me a fax or lawyer's letter, he said, voice calm but firm. If you think the term inappropriate relationship is going to scare me, think again. Funky's point was clear. Tamar had underestimated him. He wasn't afraid of lawsuits, intimidation, or social media outrage. He was ready to lay out the truth, piece by piece with receipts. The internet storm. Social media quickly picked up on the tension. Fans dissected every statement, every expression, every pause. Tamar being shady, some said. Funky is telling the truth, he saw it, others argued. Speculations ran wild. Was Mendeecees involved? What about the mysterious third man, who actually caused Tamar's injuries? And the narrative wasn't just online. Bloggers, YouTubers, and reporters amplified every snippet of the story. It became a viral controversy, and Tamar's attempts to stay in control were failing. Even the courts were not far behind. Tamar had lawyered up, releasing statements claiming Funky's rumors were harmful. She emphasized the damage to her image and the impact on her family, hinting at potential legal action. If these rumors continue, someone will have to take responsibility. But Funky was ready. I'm not scared, he said. If you want to go to court, bring it. I've been through battles with the best, music companies, lawsuits, high-profile individuals. You're not intimidating me. The strategic silence and the comeback. Funky's strategy was simple. Remain calm. Reveal details only when necessary. Let the receipts speak louder than words. Meanwhile, Tamar tried to deflect blame, casting Funky as ungrateful and herself as the victim of circumstance. I was resting, she said vaguely. Funky didn't do anything to me, that's all. The subtlety didn't work. Funky had already warned her. Silence wouldn't protect her if she continued manipulating the narrative. And he delivered the first blow. All you had to do was go back to your story and say I didn't do anything. That's it. But you wanted to call my bluff. LAWARS, LETTRHEADS, and a threat of courtroom drama. Funky reminded everyone that he wasn't new to this. 14 years in the game. Sued by some of the biggest names in music and entertainment. experienced in lawsuits and legal maneuvers. He made it clear that Tamar's lawyer's statements, claims of inappropriate behavior and rumors, wouldn't intimidate him. "If you think a letterhead is going to scare me, think again," Funky warned. "You're about to find out that you picked the wrong person to threaten." At this point, the internet was hooked. The drama had all the elements of a high-stakes reality show. Injury and mystery. Alleged betrayal by friends. A secret relationship with Mendeecees. A mysterious third man. Legal threats and public confrontations. Funky had strategically positioned himself as the guardian of the truth, ready to dismantle Tamar's narrative at any opportunity. Tamar's choice, clarity or chaos. By part 4, Tamar had a choice. Clarify the story, name the individuals involved, and tell the truth. Double down on vague hints, risk angering Funky, and continue creating social media buzz. She chose the latter. "You know, she still brought up the issue months later, after it stopped being a thing," Funky said. "She wanted attention, she wanted clout, and I knew I had to respond." And respond he did. Funky's calm, calculated, and firm rebuttals began turning public opinion in his favor. "I'm not afraid of a fight," Funky said. "And I'm not going to let anyone misrepresent me. Now, the story isn't just about a birthday party gone wrong. It's about power, control, and accountability. Tamar's attempts to manipulate perception have consequences. Funky's methodical approach to documenting events gives him control over the narrative. The internet is watching every move, amplifying every misstep. The battle has escalated from a mysterious injury to a war of reputations, and neither party is backing down. Ruth's Chris, RECIPTS, and the fight TAMAR can't win." By now, the world was watching closely. Social media had become a courtroom, and every move Tamar made was scrutinized. But Funky Dineva wasn't just defending himself. He was building his case, piece by piece, receipt by receipt. And one of the most shocking chapters, the Ruth's Chris incident. The dinner that changed everything. It was supposed to be a simple outing. A dinner, some conversation, a chance to relax. But according to Funky, things escalated quickly. "We were sitting at Ruth's Chris. Everything seemed normal at first," Funky recalls. "Then, all of a sudden, Mendeecees was rubbing inappropriately between her thighs." Funky didn't exaggerate. He didn't embellish. He saw it, he noted it, and he didn't ignore it. "I'm sitting right there. She's laughing. Mendeecees gets up to go to the bathroom, and I'm watching this unfold." He watched Tamar's interactions, Mendeecees' behavior, and how casual it all seemed to her. And this is the same woman who denied knowing him, denied intimacy. That's when I realized she was telling a story that wasn't true. It was a moment that would later be dissected in interviews, blog posts, and social media videos. Receipts don't lie, and Funky had them all. The ChatGPT letter and public manipulation. Funky revealed something that stunned even veteran followers of the drama. Tamar allegedly tried to control public perception using technology. She asked Mendeecees to create a statement about his relationship status using ChatGPT, then laughed and had him rewrite it to make it sound authentic. "She's manipulating the narrative even digitally," Funky said. "She's orchestrating the story, controlling how it looks publicly, while the truth sits there in front of us." This wasn't just a story anymore. It was strategy, manipulation, and calculated PR. The inappropriate relationship, ALLEGTONS. Funky didn't stop at the Uber or Ruth's Chris. He laid out his perspective in full. "You tell me, Tamar, if it's appropriate or inappropriate that we're sitting at Ruth's Chris and he's rubbing between your thighs." He painted a vivid picture of the gap between Tamar's public narrative and private actions. The receipts, the witnesses, the inconsistencies, all pointed to the same conclusion. Tamar was picking a fight she couldn't win. Even the internet, divided as it was, began to notice the pattern. Denial in interviews. Contradictory actions. Vague hints at danger and betrayal. strategic manipulation of social media. Funky's calm, methodical presentation of events left little room for argument. The pattern of deception. This wasn't the first time Tamar had been caught in a controversial situation involving a married man. Funky reminded everyone. First it was Jermaine Dupriest's dad, now Mendeecees. Same story, same pattern. Fans began drawing parallels, realizing this wasn't an isolated incident. It was a consistent behavior pattern. "You've been sneaking and creeping with someone else's husband," Funky said bluntly. "And now you want to paint me as the villain. That's not how it works." This bold statement shifted the focus. It wasn't just about injuries or accidents anymore. It was about trust, betrayal, and accountability. The internet divides and loyalties shift. Social media erupted. People picked sides. Team Funky argued he was simply defending the truth. Team Tamar argued she was a victim of circumstance. Neutral observers were left questioning what really happened that night. Meanwhile, Funky remained calm, strategic, and unshaken. "Tamar wants attention, clout, drama, whatever, but I've got receipts, and I'm ready for the fight in court or online." The message was clear. Funky wasn't bluffing. "If she thinks she can scare me with lawyers, she's wrong. I've been through this before. I've stayed in court with Charrier, Chris Stokes, and major companies. I don't back down." Tamar's credibility was questioned. Funky had evidence, witnesses, and receipts. The internet was hooked, watching a real-life drama unfold like a high-stakes reality show. And most importantly, Tamar had picked a fight she couldn't win. Because Funky wasn't afraid of exposure. He wasn't afraid of legal battles. And he wasn't afraid of the truth. The climax, truth, accountability, and consequences. By now, the story had evolved from a mysterious injury into a full-blown battle of narratives, played out across social media, interviews, and legal threats. Funky Dineva had positioned himself as the guardian of truth, armed with receipts, witnesses, and an unshakable memory. Tamar Braxton, meanwhile, was attempting to control perception, oscillating between victim and strategist. And the world was watching every move. The lawyers step in. After months of public speculation, Tamar made her move. Lawyered up. Released statements claiming Funky's rumors were damaging. Emphasized the impact on her reputation and family. Hinting at possible legal action if the situation continued. "If these rumors continue, someone will have to take responsibility," she warned. But Funky was unshaken. He reminded everyone of his years of experience in lawsuits, legal battles, and high-profile disputes. "I've been through court with some of the best," he said. "Letters on lawyer letterhead aren't going to scare me. I'm ready for this, and I'm ready to defend myself and the truth." His words weren't empty threats. Funky had documented every moment, every interaction, and every contradiction in Tamar's story. From the Uber ride to Ruth's Chris, from Mendeecees, interactions to the mysterious third man, Funky laid out a timeline impossible to dispute. Tamar attended a birthday party that turned chaotic. She left with Mendeecees and a third man, individuals she claimed were uninvolved. Funky observed intimate interactions in the Uber. At Ruth's Chris, Mendeecees behaved inappropriately in public, contradicting Tamar's denials. The third man, allegedly the person who found Tamar unconscious, remains central to understanding what really happened to her teeth. Funky's recounting left no room for ambiguity. If anyone needs to be investigated, it's Mendeecees and his friend. They went upstairs with her. They know what happened. The internet reacts. By this point, social media was ablaze. Fans dissected every word, every video, every post. Bloggers and YouTubers relayed Funky's perspective in painstaking detail. Hashtags trended, discussions multiplied, and public opinion swayed. Some supported Tamar, citing trauma and the need for privacy. Others rallied behind Funky, impressed by his composure, his detailed account, and his refusal to let ambiguity dominate the narrative. And in the middle of this storm, The central truth remained elusive, but Funky had positioned himself as the keeper of facts. The court of public opinion. Funky's strategy was clear. Stay calm. Present receipts when necessary. Let the facts speak for themselves. Tamar's strategy. Continue to suggest danger and victimhood without full disclosure. But Funky warned her, and the warning was not subtle. You picked a fight you can't win. You're not going to intimidate me. I'm ready for court. I'm ready for the internet. I'm ready for everything. The world watched, riveted, as the stakes escalated from gossip to potential litigation. By the end of this saga, several truths stand out. Secrets have a way of coming out. Tamar's attempts to control the narrative were not enough. Receipts matter. Funky's meticulous attention to detail gave him control over the story. Actions contradict words. Tamar's public denials didn't match observed reality, creating tension and mistrust. Accountability cannot be avoided. Every choice, every omission, every manipulation has consequences. Truth wins in the end. Funky remained calm, composed, and unwavering, proving that transparency and courage outweigh rumor and speculation. The aftermath. The battle between Tamar and Funky isn't just a story about a birthday party, a mysterious injury, or a scandal. It's a lesson in loyalty, consequences, and courage. Tamar tried to control the narrative. Mendeecees and the mysterious third man remained central, their involvement a key mystery. Funky held his ground, refusing to be manipulated or silenced. If you think a little statement on your lawyer's letterhead is going to scare me, think again. I'm ready for this fight, and I'll see it through. And that's the climax. A standoff between public image and reality, between rumors and receipts, between control and accountability. The final thought. In the world of celebrity drama, truth is often buried under spin, manipulation, and strategic silence. But Funky Dineva's story reminds us, facts matter, witnesses matter, and courage matters more than clout. Tamar may have wanted attention. She may have tried to shape perception. But in the end, you cannot rewrite reality when someone has the receipts. And Funky's message is clear. I'm not afraid, I'm not backing down, and the truth will always come out.